Welcome, Gemini, for your weekly reading. I'm Stasia Bliss. We are going to go ahead and clear the energy of the space. Welcome into the time of Libra. Clearing the energy from the cards, previous readings. Today I'm going to use a special deck called the Qi Vesta. It is a Lemurian based deck brought in through my teacher Almine. It consists of 4 decks, each with 36 cards, making up 144. So it's an alchemical sequencing for change. So I'm going to pull a card, one from each deck today, for the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual advice or energies for Gemini to work with during this time. And whenever you are finding this video, it is the right time for you. There will be something here for you. Maybe not everything, because it is a general reading. I do offer personalized readings if you would like to book one. That information is below. So the cards have all these interesting wheels, images. So this is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or anywhere you find Gemini in your chart. If you're watching this during the current astrological cycle, Jupiter, Sagittarian's planet, your opposite sign, is in Gemini. So Jupiter is in fall in Gemini, but nevertheless, there is an expansive element here. So let's look for the physical blessing or physical advice to the Geminis for this next week. What's coming up? There it is. From the Qi Vesta, this is, there's 2 of them, cards 6 and 7. So the first one is, and I'll read you the Lemurian as well. The Lemurian is Rekpa Bliss Pater Anachvi. And if you want to know how we know Lemurian language, talk to Almine. She seemed to channel in all sorts of ancient languages. Really interesting. She's got a lot of YouTube videos and books and so forth. Anyway, these are really powerful cards. I've worked with them for a long time and got certified as the High Priestess of the Qi Vesta by working with a specific issue, 40 card spread or 60 card spread daily for 60 days. Your first one is Transition to Peace. Transition to Peace. So this is for the physical. And the second card is Spontaneous Expression, Restu Aklat Brihespi. Spontaneous expression. So as you can see, there's some longer concepts that go with each one. So I'll read those in a moment. So we're talking about in the physical reality, physical body. We're getting transition to peace and spontaneous expression. So let's look a little bit deeper at this. What we look at, we solidify. What we experience unfolds into endless possibilities. So transitioning to peace, feel how and where that might apply physically in your life. What are you looking at, paying attention to, putting your physical energy toward, that's solidifying, that is solid, okay? And is that what you want to be solid, right? Is that what you're wanting in your physical reality? You're looking at it means you're giving it prana or life force or attention, right? And then the second part of that, what we experience unfolds into unlimited possibilities, endless possibilities. So what are you experiencing now? And is that the channel toward endless possibilities that you're most aligned with? Or is there a different experience being asked of you, right? And then with the second card, Spontaneous Expression, maybe you're getting too much of a rut, Gemini. Maybe there's too many solid things that need to be different, right? Spontaneous expression, let's read the deeper concept. What is real is incorruptible and changeless. These are deeper, like oneness concepts. This deck is meant to bring us into the unity field, okay? What is real is incorruptible and changeless. Through the falseness of form, the real shines through and the one life glows. So this is kind of like seeing through the facades, right? What's real is things that don't change, okay? There's something that exists real in your relationships, in your health, in your worth, in your authenticity that is unchanging, that's unwavering. There's an element in essence there that is unchanging. Okay? The other stuff is a facade. It's changeable. It will go away. It will drop away. So if we're focused too much, right, on the unreal, as she says, the facade, the things that can easily change, like a trend, right? Or like just the surface thing that's showing up. And we're not really like keying into the essence. Okay, it's like for the one life to glow, that means the real shines through. Like that's what we look at and solidify. That's what you want to look at and solidify. You want to solidify the real. Okay. From like a child's vantage point, like the family is the real, right? You go home and there's the family. If you had a good childhood or a family at home, let's say. And then all the people that come in and out of your life, or you go to the store, or, you know, like all these different things happen in a kid's reality, but what's real is what stays. Right? So like if the home stays the same, it's changeless. It's incorruptible. So in your life, what is it that stays? And remember, what we look at, we solidify. So we're solidifying certain things, maybe Gemini, that want to be more fluid and want to change. There's really an interesting play of these two concepts. So feel into that, what feels like it resonates with you. And let's go to the mental. And sometimes these will tie into each other, right? So now we're in the mental sphere with Gemini, your favorite sphere. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules the mind, thoughts, communications. Mercury is thought to be the messenger of the gods, symbolized by crows or ravens. So this is the mental. So we do have like the crow raven archetype, which is shown up in our equinox reading, if you didn't catch that, for this entire time. Very appropriate. Okay, what is the mental concept for Geminis during this next week? For them to look at, work with, solidify. And I love that when we look at solidify is in the physical realm, because that's where the physical is. Okay, the mental is Hanuwa Vesta 29. So 2 plus 9 is an 11. So this is a mastery number. Remember, we had a 6 and a 7 over here. So 6, kind of building like a community or family structure, right? 7 then spiritualizes. Interesting for that one. Okay, let go of the static is what this says. Let go of the static. The Lemurian Arsvasut Minechtar Bravis. Let go of the static. Interesting harvesty sort of photo there, picture. The concept, remember, we're in the mental sphere. Beauty as the true expression of infinite life must renew itself in timelessness. The cosmos does not support the static. Say that again. Beauty as the true expression of infinite life must renew itself in timelessness. The cosmos does not support the static. So we're talking about the mind. So marry that with the mind, the beautiful mind. How is it when the mind is behaving beautifully? Seeing the beauty, right? Observing the beauty, contemplating the beauty, meditating on the beauty. The beauty is the true expression. This is what this is saying. And that life must renew itself, right? The static also can refer to mentally, like, do you have some mental static, Gemini? Like Gemini is in this place where Jupiter is helping to expand, right? Lots of expansion, but then are there some thoughts that have been static? Are there some beliefs that have been static that maybe it's time to give them a renewal? Re-beautify them, right? Okay, so something like that. Let's go to the emotional deck. The Baba Vesta for the Gemini. What is the emotional component to work with? this week. So for that one, I might write down like some of your time-honored beliefs and see, like, is this static or is it still evolving? This way that I'm believing, is it serving me in this time? Because it sort of seems like things want to move. Like the real stuff will stay, remember? Like the stuff that's not real, like we sort of want to illuminate that. And then the real stuff can unfold in endless possibilities, right? Jupiter, luck. All right, this card is 18, which is a 9. So that does speak to a completion of some kind. The Lemurian is Astanok Miset Valasvi, beneficial outcomes. Beneficial outcomes. And look at this interesting imagery here. It looks like an equation. Blah, 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 plus, blah, 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 plus, blah, 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 equals, or is greater than, equal to, excuse me, goodness, wow, beneficial outcomes. Some kind of release there. Let's look at the deeper concept. We hesitate to act before we can ensure a beneficial outcome. All outcomes are beneficial in the benevolence of the infinite. Now, this is a tough concept for some people because we can look at the world and we can definitely say there are not all beneficial outcomes happening. But if you look at, I think it was Libra's reading, talks about the bigger perspective, and I will bring that in now, like the benevolence of the infinite does suggest a very much bigger vantage point, right? So emotionally speaking, this might be easier to look at than sometimes mentally or physically, but emotionally, however you are feeling right now, or whatever this week's bringing up for you, Gemini, if you can remember that all outcomes are beneficial, because life, your life, is ultimately benevolent, and it is set out for you in a certain way. And so all the feels that you might need to have this week, Mars and Cancer, can be a little overwhelming, but they're all beneficial. They're all leading you somewhere. They all have a purpose. So to feel into that and like be with that. And also it's saying we hesitate to act, and that's Mars is our action and Cancer is the emotion, right? So we might be hesitating to act because of emotions. You know, I might have a bone to pick with this one, but you know what? Even if you end up having an emotional response to something that's maybe more inflated than you thought it needed to be at a later time, you know, it's still probably opened the doors or closed the doors that needed that. There was some sort of divine inspiration going on, so trust that. And then the final card for the read today is the spiritual concept. It's card 36, the final card in the Qi Vesta deck. It's called Life from an Eternal Perspective. And here you go. Here's the big perspective. Meshanech misavetvi harasut. All that has gone before you, Geminis, has brought you to the perfection of the moment, the beginning of timelessness, and the birthplace of eternal life. So we are at the beginning of Libra season, Geminis. You know, we are at a place between eclipses. Jupiter is in your sign. We are in a little bit easier spot now that we're out of the sun in Virgo. More mercurial energy is muted a bit, which, you know, you like that energy, but you are still getting like very solid communication from the divine. And it's saying, you know, you might want to let go of some old beliefs, Gemini, like, and see things from a bigger perspective, and also see some of the emotions that you've had to experience lately or in the past. They were all beneficial in bringing you to this place, the birthplace of eternal life, the life that is to come, right? And so put your attention physically on the real, like what really matters, right? And through that, endless possibilities open. But seeing through the illusions and the facades, right? The falseness. So you're also looking physically for things that glow. People that seem to glow, situations that seem to light you up or light up themselves, a pathway that you're walking, if you're making a choice, the one that's the most lit. one that's the most legit. So that's your reading today, Gemini. I hope that you got something out of it. If you want to do a personal one of these, I end up doing 8 Qi Vesta cards and draw you a sigil that contains all the essence of this. You get that for your phone. You can print it out, put it under your bed. It helps you work with these energies all week. So, or you can do them for like a, you know, bigger period of time in your life. If you want to look at the whole year or a month or your birthday or whatever it is, what the new is bringing in for you, contact me. My information is below. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you check out all my other videos, subscribe, like, and we'll see you next time. Much love and namaste.